Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show with on the play. Holiday with Wonderthon. We have some of the guests, and so how are you guys with this play?
We're good. Jesse, it's just a little bit hard to hear you. It sounds like your mic might be echoing or something, or like reverbing.
I don't have a reverb. Or maybe a Facebook. Facebook.
Yeah, this sounds better now.
Sounds better now?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You still want to close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you edit your name and who you played in the play?
Yeah. I guess I can start. My name's Adam Lau, and I played Sven.
I'm Tessa Markle, and I played Mary.
I'm Nicole Wright, and I played Bridget and Girl 2.
I'm Angie Campbell, and I played Noelle.
My name's Alexander Roberts, and I played Jackson.
Oops, we got Cecily here, guys.
That's what it is. Okay, and
See what I mean?
that weird. So how did you get into acting?
How did I get into acting? I've been acting and performing since I was very young. When I was traveling around the world, like you can't really keep friends as a common stance. So you have to get into hobbies that you're gonna keep with you forever. Performing was that way. It was also my way to like meet new people like constantly, no matter where I went. As my mom said, it started at the dinner table though. Probably when I was 5. I was just wasn't really eating. I was more like just like making my parents laugh instead. And then probably like one of the biggest upgrades was when I went for high school. I auditioned. I got into a performing arts high school, and then from then on, went to college for musical theater. Did worldwide Olympic like competition called Wacopa, which basically is like an Olympiad for performers. Performed against 15 other countries. Got like 5 medals. And walked away with world champion for classical acting. And so since then, I've just been involved.
What about you guys? Anybody else want to go?
If we just want to keep going in the same circle, I can go next. So I am an only child, and growing up, my parents loved to like videotape everything. So I was just immediately a huge ham, and I would like memorize my favorite movies. So they'd be on in the background. My dad be videotaping me, and I'd be like acting them out in front of the TV. And I ran with that. I mean, kindergarten, we had like a school play and a few school plays growing up. And then I got involved in community theater, which is where I really learned like what I was doing and really, really fell in love with it. And I just haven't stopped. I moved out to LA almost 7 years ago now. And that's when I got into on-camera acting, because until then I had just done live theater. But I love all of it, even commercial acting. Like everything I can try in the acting world I'm into. So
You're up from Philadelphia, right?
Pittsburgh. So other side of the state, but yeah, still Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Who do you like better, Gino or Pat?
I have to say Pat's, but I like them both. Like any cheesesteak I'm into, but I'm a Pat's girl.
I like Gino.
Uh-oh.
So, as a tender, how did you get into acting?
I was living in North Carolina at one point, and the 5th grade class always did a Shakespeare play, and I was in 4th grade at the time, and they did Macbeth, and I saw them do Macbeth, and was mesmerized by Lady Macbeth trying to rub the blood spots out of her hand, and I just decided that I wanted to do that. And then the next year I did the play, and we did A Midsummer Night's Dream. And that was just the beginning of a life in acting.
Okay, and Nicole?
Well, I grew up dancing first at a local studio. I ended up spending over 12 years dancing. And in our community, the high school musical was like the big event of the year. So when I finally got up to high school, that's when I first started to perform, not just dance. I took chorus and I took the acting classes, and I was able to do the musicals in high school. And as I got older, I became more of a fan of the art, especially of theater. And when I went off to college, that kind of continued. I minored in drama and just kind of went from there.
What about you, Angie?
Yeah, I grew up dancing too. I did dancing and gymnastics, and when I was little, my friends and I would like put shows on in my backyard for my neighbors. Like I was just always performing, and I really love to make people laugh, and that's kind of how I always would make friends, was by just making people laugh, and it turned into something I really love to do. And so I would start taking theater classes. I just loved performing and being on stage. And then in high school, I got really involved in all of the theater productions. And then after that, I just started getting involved in like student films and everything like that. And that involved into commercials and things like that. And I'm still doing it. So
What is the best art you ever played in your whole career of acting?
That's a hard question.
You want to go around in a circle?
Yeah. Can you rephrase the question again for me?
What is the best art that you ever played in your career?
Man, it's funny because you were mentioning Midsummer Night's Dream, and in the competition that I was doing, was from Midsummer Night's Dream. What got me my role was Puck. And so that was like, I was always like related to Puck from like high school, because when I did that role, and then because taking on that competition got me like this prestigious award. So I will always like carry that like with me forever. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like if anything like really trumps that like recently, but it's always like a crazy character in an improv show or something that I've already forgotten, like something like that. Like sometimes like it's just like so funny because you're in the moment of doing something, but nothing that as everlasting as A Midsummer Night's Dream, I guess.
You'd be the perfect Puck.
yeah.
That was speaker style, right?
Yeah, you would. Anybody else want to tell? What about you, Angie?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a hard question. In this acting conservatory I was in a few years ago, we did a scene from A Streetcar Named Desire, and I got to play Blanche Dubois, and that was really amazing. And I somehow feel like I kind of turned it comedic in a way, but like in a respectful way that was still true to the script. And it's such a classical character from such a classical piece of, drama, that it was amazing to be able to play that character and just bring my own voice and my own take to it. That I would probably say that was one of my favorites.
What about you, Alexander?
Wow. I mean, when I did a Midsummer Night's Dream, I was Demetrius. I wanted to be Lysander, but I got cast as Demetrius. And when I look back on it, I think that was probably the right choice. I don't know if that was my favorite role. I mean, definitely influential as my first role. I'd say Charlie in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in high school was a good one. Warren from This Is Our Youth. He's my dude. Yeah, those are good answers.
If you could play any role again, what would it be? Regionally, Broadway.
I think kind of combining these last two questions for me, like one of my favorite roles that I ever played was Rizzo in Grease, but it wasn't my favorite production of Grease. So if I could play that again in like a better version of the production, that would be a dream role.
There was a web series I did a few years ago where I played this super neurotic type A roommate who made prospective roommates like sign all these documents before they moved in, and she was just really anal. And that was so fun for me. And I think there was a lot of myself in that character. And I would love to play that character again and kind of like dive deeper into her, explore her more. She was only in one episode, so I would like to kind of go into her background more and kind of see where, like, why is she the way she is? Why is she so messed up? There's something going on there. So I think that would be really fun.
Well, I haven't really done too many shows, but I would just like to do another show at some point. I haven't actually done a show since a full production of a show since high school, other than just like scenes from classes. But my favorite role that I got to do in high school was one of the tap dancing typists in Fairly Odd and Millie, which all you needed to say was, "That's the show we're doing," and I said, "I want to do that because I love tap dancing." So, I don't know, because in high school I was mostly just ensembles dancing roles. But in real life, my dream role is Tracy Turnblad.
If you could play one of your idols' roles, what would that role be? Like, let's say you met Master K. Arden and you played one of her roles, or like, Bradley Cooper and you played one of his roles. What was the role you would want to play that your idol also played?
Yeah, I got a couple or a few for that. I think the first thing that got me into musicals was Moulin Rouge as a kid. So anything that Ewan McGregor's played, I will take either that role or Obi-Wan Kenobi at this point with all my beard, gladly. And also Adam Pascal, like anything he's done, like Rent, like Roger for Rent, or Aida. Those are like really good stuff in my rocker range. So
yeah, he did Memphis.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, written by David Blaine.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Alexander, what would be?
I think I would want to play Paul Walker's role in the Fast and the Furious, all of them. All right. R.I.P. Paul Walker. I love the Fast and the Furious. It's the best franchise of all time. I dare you to doubt me.
What about you, Tessa?
That's a really hard question. I have like my favorite actresses, but I feel like my actual idols are all actors, like male actors. So it's tough for me to decide that. But I guess one would be like, I love Tim Curry. I love literally anything he's ever done. And I feel like it'd be really cool to do like a gender bending Rocky Horror because it kind of already is. But if I could play Frankenfurter, like that would be so freaking cool.
I
So,
met him one time. It really,
yeah,
yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I'd say I wish I could. Anytime I see like a really great musical, because I can't sing and do that, I would kill to be able to do that.
Right.
What
Yeah.
is your favorite musical?
Hair.
That's mine too. I don't know anybody else that loves Hair. That's
It
awesome.
is the best musical of all time ever
Agreed.
written.
I don't think I've even heard of that.
Oh my
lot
god!
of people
Watch the
haven't.
Milos
Hair?
Forman directed movie.
What?
Yeah, like it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's a hippy dippy show.
Okay.
It is way
Where the
ahead
age
of
of,
its time.
the age of Aquarius comes from that song.
Okay. Okay. Then I have seen parts of it.
Yeah.
When I was at a nail salon, it was on TV. It was so weird.
It is so good. Like,
Okay.
genius.
Even though I'm a rocker, I always enjoy my comedy musicals. So Avenue Q and like Book of Mormon are just like,
Oh.
right, because like they're so enjoyable to me. Like I love the comedic factors and what they have to bring and the shock factor. I always think that it's something different than what a lot of musicals are doing. So
What is the musical that you've seen the most, or the movie that you've seen more than 20 times?
20 times? The Fifth Element. I've seen that movie more than 20 times for sure. I love it. It's got everything. It's got action. It's got comedy. It's got romance. It's got Chris Tucker, sci-fi. You know, that's all you need. I love it. It's my favorite movie.
Well, I can combine the last two questions, and my favorite show, and the one I've seen more than 20 times, is Next to Normal.
It's normal.
Yeah, I saw that 30 times.
Is that a musical?
I
Sorry?
think
Is that a musical?
Yeah, it was on Broadway for almost 2 years. It closed like 10 years ago, but it won the Pulitzer for drama for that year, and it was intense. But the music was mostly rock based, and it was very intense. But I loved it so much.
Nice.
what, yeah, I like it. What was your favorite part about our play? Favorite moment?
It was I would say like the first thing, because like just like if you break it down script and like the comedic factor, like not just the fact that it's like Hallmark, but it's French doors. Like I can imagine like if we were to do this like on stage, like how much it's just like exit, enter, exit, like that. So we were still able to catch that vibe doing a production like the way that we were because of all like the in out, in out, in out. And I thought that like really we did a really good job without that. And I really like that.
Where is that? Yeah. What's your favorite part, Andrew?
I loved how over the top it was, and it knew how over the top it was. It wasn't pretending that it wasn't, and how it touched on every single holiday movie trope that there is. You know, the writer looking for inspiration, the girl whose family inn is about to close. Everything, and it's just so ridiculous. I just love that stuff. I love when things can poke fun at itself. I think that was the beauty of the show that we did. And I don't know if Noelle was supposed to be like over the top soap opera-y, but that's how I decided to play her. And I had so much fun. Me and the actor who played Chris, I just thought we had such a good time kind of being ridiculous. So that was really fun.
Definitely.
Yeah, Dustin Keats. Yeah.
And that baby voice you hear was, what about you? What about your uh, favorite part of our play?
I think I just loved that it was written for Zoom because I've seen a few Zoom performances that it's like it's tough to pull off with a show that's supposed to be on the stage. And this was like actually written to be on screen for us to interact that way. And like it just made it so much like it just flowed so much better. It made all the jokes land. And yeah, I just thought that was really unique.
Yeah, I thought it was just, I don't know. I loved so much about it. Like it was just really, really funny. And I don't know. I think that, I mean, I love that I got to be passed out for like a third of it. It's like it was like Hallmark making fun of itself, but like the adult version. Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty hard.
Nicole, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was probably just getting to work with everybody. Like the chat would blow up every time that it would say like throw these emojis in the chat, or if someone had like a really good scene, you would all type like crazy and go nuts and like supporting each other. And it was great because this show kind of lent itself to a lot of those moments. There were so many people. There were so many like little cute scenes and things I always looked forward to seeing. And it was just kind of fun, especially like for someone like me who doesn't really do this. Like it was very supportive and it was a great time just in terms of the script and everything else going on.
I kind of wish I could have watched it. Like,
I think it's still up on YouTube.
oh yeah. That's right. I could go back.
Yeah, they got edited too.
It's nice. They have like credits and everything, and we have like a music video. It's very, very cute.
What was your favorite part that you were in?
I love the part where Noelle brings Chris the ashes of his father. And when he's like, you brought my father's ashes? And she's like, yeah, because digging up his body would be sick. Like that to me was like the funniest thing. And like she's in her mind, that's perfectly reasonable to like, yeah, I got your dad cremated and here we are. So to me, that was my favorite.
And may I add to that, because I don't think it was ever done in any of the other times we did it, except the live show, where he was like, he throws the ashes and is like, I love it. And I was like, I don't remember doing that ever during the practice, but he did it during the live show. And I was like, man, we're just doing all the bells and whistles tonight. It was so funny though.
I really got into my old man dad voice during the live show too. I was like, I'm just going to go for it and become this old man. So.
I think your storyline, Angie, was the most fun. It was so stupid.
It was so stupid. Where did that come from?
I know. Yeah.
It was so fun. I love Tessa skating. Your skating was like every night.
Yeah, it was fun to do that physical humor and like, oh, I'm falling, like over dramatic. Thank you. I'm very clumsy in real life. I had good practice.
And then I love Nicole's ridiculous red wig. Like, it was so bad. I hope it was supposed to be bad because it was terrible, but it was.
It was just like, I mean, the bottom part of it looked better than the top half, but it went all the way down to like.
Yeah, that's what's on our first dates. So
it was so long, but of course, the part you couldn't see was the part that actually looked good. mom-
Jackson just like sliding around like during the skating stuff, like, and he was like in the thing. I was just like, he just like dead face. And it's funny because like you also gotta pay attention, so I could just see your eyes like always fixated on the screen, but it was just like. But it like
I was
it
wondering
works.
if anybody would notice that. I was like, I gotta watch, but I gotta be fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. And then Sven's accent was so like legit.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, best accent work of the show, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicole, you
My favorite part was probably like I had a scene in the middle where I kind of jumped around from like 3 different things. I was outside, and then I went back in with the writers, and then I went back to the lobby, and like that was the most like background switches I had at once, and I was just like trying to figure everything out at once, but it was fun. I got to be really sassy. That's always fun.
Sassy redhead friend.
I love when the writer guy was like, I want to be with the sassy red friend even more now.
Yeah.
That one got me every time.
I just look at how like so many of the couples like in the play were like real life couples.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cute.
It was cute.
Yeah.
I only knew those two. The writers was there another coupling?
Ruby and Ian.
Yeah, Ruby and Ian, the Holiday Inn owner, and her.
Oh, okay.
And like the
Prince.
I don't know. I didn't really stalk anyone's Instagram after this, so I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah.
Adam and I are a couple too.
Either.
We play Coma all the time.
Favorite at moment that you asked, like what was your favorite technical aspect of this show?
Can you repeat that?
Favorite technical moment, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to say just everything that Cecily pulled off between
Yeah.
like switching her cameras with the dogs and then having the bells and like
Yeah.
just all of that thrown in there.
Yeah.
And the backgrounds were gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like there were so many nice backgrounds too.
I thought I know it's a small thing, but I thought the phones ringing was really cool. Like I didn't have any scenes where it was like I used it, but it was so cool. I was like, at first I was like, oh my God, someone didn't turn their phone off. And I was like annoyed, but then I realized it was part of the show. And I was like, that's so convincing. Like it got me. So
Yeah, she was on it.
she was
Those sound cues.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't even start doing those until the last like couple rehearsals, and like I heard the phone, and like every single time I was like, "Yo, someone's phone's going off," and I didn't realize that I was her doing it. And I was like, once I realized it, I was like, "Man, I'm an ass."
Real professional guys leaving your phones on.
Guys, come on. I also like because we didn't get to see it until like the show, even though that was supposed to be like our break time, but I enjoyed like watching like our fellow actresses like doing all the songs and stuff like in between during the intermissions. Like that's like just being able to see like another gift that people are able to give is always just nice. Even though we weren't exactly like hanging out like after our rehearsals or anything like bonding, but it's like you know we still get to see like these different like shades of light. So
Yep. My favorite was all that really did. I like the background and the videos.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah. If you think it's harder to originate a role than the place a role.
Sorry, there was some other noises going on there. Could you say that again?
Do you think it's harder to replace somebody in a role than originate a role?
would I play like another person's role from the show?
I think you said, would it be harder to replace someone or to originate a role?
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
I think it depends on the production. Like I've been in a couple productions that my friends have written, and to originate that role, that it's somebody that has created it, is really, really cool. I really like that. But if it's something that you're separated from the creation of it, it's just a new play that somebody wrote that's famous already or whatever, I think that's pretty difficult to originate a role. It's a lot easier to have something to kind of base it off of and make it your own. But yeah, when you know the person that created it and you get to originate that, that's pretty exciting.
And
Me? I guess I don't know what you mean by originate a role.
Like the first person playing
The
it.
very first performance of a role.
Oh, so what's easier, to replace it or originate it? I think both are hard. I mean, if you replace it, I think naturally there are going to be comparisons to whoever was playing it before, so but then if that person wasn't particularly good, you can learn from their mistakes, which can be a good thing. But then originating it, kind of like Tessa said, it's so much fun. No one's ever played that role before, so it's yours essentially. You can bring it to life and kind of give it all these organic characteristics. So both are hard. Both come with their challenges. So.
Absolutely.
Adam, what do you prefer?
Oh God. Yeah, I'd probably say originate, because even at the roles that I've replicated probably in the past, I was horrible at research, so I would never know what the original character was doing anyways. And then it goes to the formal original production. The one bad thing about original productions a lot of times, it's just when it's the first time it's being done, there's just so much focus in other areas. So sometimes your performance isn't getting the best attention that it deserves in a full play structure, and so many things are always going to be constantly going wrong. So it's yes, you get to develop this character and there's so much behind it, but a lot of times the production as a whole is going to just there's a lot of other things that are just going to suffer just being the first time that it's being done. I've done Fringe Festival out here a lot, and I know they have one out in New York, and that's basically a good way for people to workshop their shows. But sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you can do so well in a role that it carries the production. So at least you're getting highlighted in a review or something, even though the rest of it's norm. So that's nice. That's a good feeling. I like that.
I think kind of everyone said, there's challenges in both. It also depends on the time constraints you can have. For us, I Googled the play just to see, if it's a thing that's been going around, and I was only able to find one other production of it done online. So in a way, it kind of felt like we were originating it because it's out there, but it's just not really done well. But we only had 5 rehearsals for the entire thing. And I know when people normally replace, their rehearsal period is so small. But when you originate things, you kind of have that added pressure of, whatever you do is going to kind of become the role. And if you suck, then, that might end up being something down the line. There's also freedom in that you kind of can make the choices, and then, when you get replaced, those choices can somehow just become part of the character. So it's a tricky balance, but.
What about you, Alexander?
I think if it's a famous role, replacing would be really hard. I think just because for me personally, I know I'd feel the extra pressure, and less. I'd get in my head and have be less free about it.
Yeah. If you could take on a role that do you have any aspect directing your own stuff, or you have no interest in any of like writing your own stuff?
I can go first with that one because I actually have a production company, so I do co-create my own stuff with my production partner already. But I will say I like creating my own stuff. I don't specifically like directing. I feel like directing is so much responsibility, and I love directing actors, but that is the only part of directing that I enjoy. Everything else that goes into it, I don't want to have a single part of. So I like the rest of the stuff that goes into it, you know, writing and producing. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Right.
As somebody else who's produced and done stuff before, I like the idea of like if I write, then I would love like to hand it off to somebody else, like to do the directing and like acting or like just directing or just acting. Because if you wear too many hats, I feel like you're spread too thin. With like you want, I know the idea like to creatively like you think like by harboring on your back, it's going to be your project, your baby. But that's not how this industry works. Like the best projects are done when many hands are on the same project and everybody has their own creative input. Yeah, you got to be able to share. It's not just an ensemble of cast members, but also crew as well. And we've got to think about that way. That's why it's so good. Like if you find good people like to work with, to stick with that and like never let those people go because you'll continue to keep pumping out great work.
That's why they keep working with the same people. You always see
Yeah.
writers and everything. They're all
Yeah,
always.
I know Kelly will have only that, but yeah,
Yeah. With that, I do have to go. I gotta go get a test done. So thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it.
Stay well.
Later, dude.
All right. Bye, guys. Hope to see you around. Enjoy the rest of the time.
Yeah, you too, man.
Where can you expect to leave already? Hold on, we're gonna begin sexually if she's ready
Cool.
to go. Hold on, we're getting her now into the studio. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, changed.
Yeah, it used to be 6, then they changed it to 10, and now we're back to 6.
Hmm.
So I don't know
Yeah, who knows what we're.
why.
Doing these Zoom plays is interesting, I think, because like you're kind of have to direct yourself while you're acting.
Yeah.
It's really strange and kind of fun.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, I've like watched a lot of these type of things, and everyone said, you know, now you are in charge of, like, you have your own script. Everyone has like their whole way of doing that. You're in charge of your wardrobe, your hair, your makeup, your tech, like everything you are in charge of. And it's, you know, a lot of people have been gaining more respect for those members of the company, and realize how more valuable they are.
That's why actors are the best. They can do everything.
It is only like they can do play that I directed and started, and you never know what will happen in the middle of like with Arrow. We literally was screwed for 10
Yeah,
minutes.
like the main actor, but that's out of our control because of Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Plus, we had the whole sound issue at the beginning of our show.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it happens. I mean, it's the way it goes.
So it happens all the time. Technology is fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very finicky.
Very finicky. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Now, do you have any projects lined up?
I can go first again.
Let's do it.
I've been doing a few little things like throughout quarantine, but as far as my own projects, I don't have anything. Well, I do have things lined up for the future once kind of it's just totally safe to film. I mean, at this point, we don't even really want to bother until kind of COVID's gone because we don't really have any timeline to follow or anything. But I do have a podcast out that I'm currently, we release episodes every Friday. It's called FemRegard Podcast. So it's all about independent filmmaking. And you guys should tune in.
Yeah, it's always good to support. You know?
I don't have any projects. No, I mean, my project is just the day-to-day work of auditioning at this point. The classic stereotypical actor's life is taken over for me.
Yeah, same here. Auditioning. I do have something lined up for when COVID is completely over, but who knows when that will be. But I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, just continuing to take like virtual classes and working on my craft. I hate when people say that, but you know, working on my skills in the meantime. So.
Nicole?
No. I work in a school, so it's just, the day-to-day thing that brings. But I like watching everything when I can. So.
In a school?
I'm sorry?
In a school?
Yes, I'm a school secretary in an elementary school.
But you guys are in school?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Not today because we had the snow day, but
Cool.
yeah. Otherwise, my building's full time. They have the option for virtual if that's what they want to do, but all the staff has to come in. Yeah, every district is so different, especially even if people are in the same county and stuff. But just kind of the day-to-day things with that, and and otherwise just being an audience member when I can.
Yeah, I have a few things loading around.
What are they?
I can't say.
Come on.
He signed NDAs.
Yeah, one of them, when you hear about it, you're gonna freak out.
Yeah, this one's pretty big deal.
Cool.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, a big cast reunion that I beat out at the big celebrity.
Yeah.
The moderate the panel. That's all I can say. And the one in July isn't cast yet, but it's gonna be
It's brewing.
good.
It's definitely brewing.
And
It's circulating.
you're gonna be Jackie in a whole new life.
Oh.
The real Jack. Yeah.
All right.
Love it.
That is exciting.
Yeah. What is your favorite hobbies that you do?
I build furniture in my spare time.
So you're like IKEA.
Not IKEA. I started designing furniture based on my friends' personalities. So it turned, and then I'll make it, and it's like a portrait of a friend in the form of a bookshelf or something.
That's cool.
That's so cool.
It's kind of cool.
What about you, Sarah?
I love music. I'm a singer. So, I never like pursued it professionally. So that's then become like my favorite hobby because it's not part of my job.
Yeah, I can relate to that. That's all I do. I play guitar, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
like 4
5 now.
movies.
Yeah, Santa Claus is nice then.
Yeah. And
I love listening to podcasts. I'm like a huge podcast person. I'm a big reader. I like to work out. I mean, none of my hobbies are interesting. I hate answering this question because then I realize just how boring I am, and I'm not good at anything. Like, I can't play an instrument, and I can't speak another language, and I can't sing.
Right.
But I have a cat that I like to play with, so.
But you said that you were on like day 300 something of Duolingo or
I
whatever.
was, and then I gave up.
Oh no.
I was just getting annoyed. I was like, I'm feeling resentful towards Duolingo now because it wants me to keep practicing French, and I don't. You know what? I don't want to anymore.
You gotta have those streak saves,
I know I did, but then I could I used them all. So the only person that it hurts is me.
Yeah.
I thought I was getting back at the owl. No, I was getting back at me.
I've been there. I know the feeling.
No.
Yeah.
what about you, Nicole? What your
I mean, I guess I'm kind of boring too. I mean, usually in like normal circumstances, my free time is spent in New York City and taking advantage of all the things that has to offer. But since it's kind of been like puzzles and like Sudoku, and I have 5 cats because we're ridiculous human beings. Okay, so over the summer there was a litter. Well, we had 3. We found a litter in our backyard before a hurricane. So we rescued them, and they were only like 2 weeks old. And then we kept 2, and we found the others homes. But we had 5 cats, so they also kind of take up a lot of our time.
Oh, I
What are
love
the names?
Lila, Luigiana, because we thought it was Luigi, but no. Pumpkin, Patches, and Mr. Mittens, because he has some extra paws.
You mean he has extra toes?
Yeah, but it's only on the front. It's not in the back.
Interesting.
That's so cute.
So they take a lot of our time, but they're cute.
That's sweet.
What's your cat's name?
Charlie.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a sweetie pie.
I know there was one night after rehearsal you had a cat, and then he had the dog again, and I think someone else grabbed another animal, and it was just like so beautiful.
That party.
Yeah. What are you binge watching now?
I'm binging Lost because I never watched it when it was on TV, and a friend of mine was like, I think you'd really like this show. And I was like, I don't want to, this is 6 seasons. I don't want to get into it. And of course I watched like the first, 4 episodes or whatever, and I was hooked. So I'm on the last season now, finally.
Yeah, once you get rolling, before you know it's over.
I'm binging The Office again. I'm constantly watching it. I need to reach out and like branch out and watch something new, but the thought of that gives me anxiety. And I'm like, no, I just want to hang out with my friends, Jim and Pam, Michael. And so it's like a comfort thing. I don't know why. But people always recommend shows to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll definitely watch it. And then I just go back to The Office. So
I think
a lot of people do that.
The most recent show I was been watching is Doom Patrol on HBO, which shoots in Atlanta, and I found to be really good. Actually, I thought it was gonna suck. I'm not gonna lie, and it's pretty awesome. Like, it's a cool, wacky cast of characters, and they just do whatever they want.
I am binge watching Superstore.
nice.
I work in retail, so It's very relatable.
I bet.
I have been watching Bridget and
Bridget,
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I want to watch that.
I've
I
heard
haven't
it's
watched
great.
it. Yeah.
it's good. It's really good. Now, when you, what do you listen to on your iPad or iPod?
He's asking what you guys listen to on your iPad or iPod.
Yeah.
Right. It
Like
depends.
one artist.
That's a tough question. I mean, I know I've been getting into podcasts more since we started our podcast because I wasn't ever a podcast listener before. And I was like, oh, I better see how this works. But now I'm addicted to several podcasts. But it just depends on my mood. Because, yeah, I just love listening to music and I love so many kinds of music. So that's also like, I could be listening to, radio hip hop or like classic oldies or house music or like old jazz. Like it totally depends on my mood. So yeah, it just depends.
Yeah, like me, I have a very eclectic,
We're very fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I listen to anything from Celine Dion all the way to Fuji Adele.
All right.
What is your favorite TV show?
Our favorite what?
TV show.
Oh,
The Office.
The Office. We know. I have my favorite TV show is the show that came out like 11 years ago called Rubicon. It was on AMC for one season. It premiered after Mad Men, and it's so good. And then it got canceled after one season.
Aww.
I know, but it's great, and everybody should watch it. It's like, I think it was just too smart for the general public. That it's just too good. It was too good. That's why I got canceled.
It could be.
Yeah.
Totally.
Outside the box stuff just doesn't catch on.
Mhm.
For the most part, yeah.
I was very sad when they killed Robert Morris. And I was not happy.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
I think I was.
Towards the end, then? Yeah, that's towards the end. Yeah. Well, at least it lasted long. At least it was the second season. Still up episode 3 of season 2.
Yeah. If you could, what is your plan for after COVID? Like
Start working? Like 40 80 hours a week?
Like
That's fine.
when COVID is over,
Like everyone.
what are you gonna do?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Oh,
I know
I've been
my
dying to just fly to travel somewhere. I was supposed to go to New Zealand for Christmas, and that didn't happen. So now it just keeps coming back. I'm like, man, I really want to leave and go somewhere. So I think that'll have to be the first thing.
Yeah.
get in touch with me. I went a couple years ago. I can give you some suggestions. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would love to travel somewhere and like visit friends out of state or out of town that I haven't been able to see in like a year. Yeah, I would love that. I want to go to a bar and like get drunk, even though I'm not a drinker or a big bar person, just because I miss that. I miss having the option to do that,
You can do that still in some places.
Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin is crawling with bars and bars. That's gross. No. We need to be vaccinated before I can do that.
You're responsible. Wisconsinite? Is that what it?
Yes, Wisconsin.
Yes.
Responsible Wisconsinite.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, that's just my luck too. You know, you go out to a bar and some person is infected, and you go home and you have it, and you're like,
exactly.
oh,
Yeah.
Not worth it.
not willing to take that risk. No way.
Exactly. It's not worth it.
Not
Yeah.
worth it.
Angie, what happened with your wedding? Are you allowed to say?
With my wedding, what's going on?
That's a top secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's secret even to me.
Okay, yeah, same.
I mean, we haven't started planning it yet. It's just kind of one of those things where we're like, I like to think we're like Kurt and Goldie, like they've been together for like 40 years, but they're never married. And we've been engaged for almost 4 years now, and we really haven't talked about getting married. So, but we live together.
You're technically married just without.
We're technically married. I feel like the next step is divorce because the next step we spend too much time together. When he leaves, I'm so happy. When I leave, he's happy. It's like, if I don't have to see you, my day is great. So this is live. We're okay. I hope he's not watching this, but
He already knows, right? I mean, like,
I think my body language makes it pretty clear.
Are you gonna go the climb down the bill? Yes, the dress.
Oh no! I mean, that would be awesome to be on TV and get my wedding dress paid for, but
That would be awesome, for sure.
then I would have no use for it. So, but that would be cool.
Yeah. What's your favorite charity that you ever, donated your time to?
I once had a coach in LA who she was on the board of this orphanage in Tijuana, and every few months, like every 3 to 6 months, she would take some people down there to just help out for the day and spend time with the kids. And it was always like one of the greatest times to hang out with them and play and get crazy.
All right, yeah,
Nicole.
What was the question? Your favorite trip that you've been on, or favorite place?
Charity.
Oh, charity. Oh, oops. I mean, I'm just. There's my mom's like best friend. She lost her father on 9/11, so they do a big scholarship 5K every year. So that's something that I've been helping them with since it started almost 20 years ago. And that's like the whole day is great. They have so many like giveaways and they have so many freebies. And this year they had to do it virtually, but it's always Father's Day weekend. And it's like one of the big Long Island events. That's always a good thing to be a part of.
Oh, for sure, 9/11, jeez. Anything else anything revolves around 9/11. Any charity, whatever.
Yeah. I was in a short film a couple of years ago that had to do with suicide prevention awareness, and we didn't like technically partner like in a legal sense or anything, but we worked with the National Suicide like Prevention Hotline. I forget the exact name of it, but they were just a really great organization to work with. And we had to deal with a lot of like red tape as far as like they couldn't technically sponsor us because of like the wording used in the script and stuff like that. But they were just really awesome and super supportive. And I mean, obviously it's an amazing cause and thing that exists for people to be able to use. So, yeah.
I used to do in-home therapy with kids on the autism spectrum. I did it for like 6 years. And so every year there was like a 5K that was done to raise money for, families with children on the spectrum and other, fundraiser events that we'd participate in. So that was always really cool to be a part of that and to like give time and, see the families that you worked with like out and show your support that way. So that was always really cool too.
Yeah, I did what benefit, and we raised like $1,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. What Angie? What do you think? I didn't hear you.
Oh, I didn't say anything. I just thought that was really cool because you said you have worked with fundraisers for autism as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things we did, one of the activities was a former Christine in the Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
Her brother is autistic, so we gave it to the Cusack Foundation.
Yeah.
And I think we raised about $1,000 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, anything that can go to a good cause is great.
And then we did it with McArrow in the summer for my birthday, and we raised about 300.
Yeah, it wasn't.
For that.
But hey, anything, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Especially in like these times like this when everyone's like, a lot of people don't have the job security right now, that people still are being so generous. Even if it's not monetary, like even just sharing, the event and saying, if you can give, here you go. And, people just tell more people, and we get more. It's been really beautiful to kind of see during all like this past year.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I love giving the charity. I always give to the active fund or with equity.
That's awesome.
American Red Cross, I think I do. Yeah, so we're always donating something.
I go to Broadway. Flea, and the Broadway Flea Market, and almost spend all my money there. I have to be very careful.
I don't think your dad agrees with
No. So, is that really gonna join?
Cecily cannot. She's held up with work balls now. So.
I just want to thank you guys for doing this. I get more to you next time on the episode of the Jesse Walker. Bye.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care, guys.